Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another classic episode of the Family Album. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm your other host, Matt Glass.
Matt, we got some exciting news this week, man.
What would that be?
Dude, thanks to all you lovely listeners, we've officially gotten ads unlocked on Spotify.
Which is pretty awesome.
I know.
So, I mean, like, to all of y'all listeners out there, thank you so much for putting up with us. And, you know, the Garganga Bogs and, you know, all the other shit that we say.
The nuts, the hobbits,
Kick
the list
nuts.
goes on and on. You kick nuts and pen out. Thank you for bearing with us on that one.
Yeah, for sure. That was just a phase. But yeah, really, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Here at the Family Album, we're glad that you find us entertaining.
I know.
For sure.
It really feels rewarding that people genuinely like the content that we're creating, and we hope to keep doing more.
Yeah, as long as we can.
Exactly. Might expand, do some more creative projects. Who knows? We'll see in the future.
Who knows?
But that's not why we're here today, Matt.
No, it is not, AJ.
It is a regular week, so that means just me, just Matt, and just two albums that we both picked out. Matt, what albums do we got this week?
This week, we got two very interesting... We have a weird pair,
Yeah,
I feel
a dichotomy, you know?
That's a great word. A dichotomy of albums today.
Yes.
We got Drunk by Thundercat from 2017.
2017.
And then we got X and Y by Coldplay.
2005?
That sounds about right,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you are the historian, AJ.
That's my job.
He passed the test. But anyway, I mean, I didn't know the second one, so he could have said any year, and I would have been like, oh, yeah.
I'm a pro gaslighter.
No, but yeah, Drunk by Thundercat and X and Y by Coldplay were the albums of this week.
Yes, the album I chose for Matt was Drunk, and Matt chose X and Y for me. So, Matt, what would you like to get started with this week?
I am very excited to talk about Drunk.
Cool.
I really, really liked it.
Hell yeah, man.
Like, a lot.
It's a great album.
It's like there's a lot. I mean, we'll get into it, obviously, but overall, I really, really respect and just enjoy this album a lot.
I know it's a fun time. Before he made this album, he made albums before, but he was mostly known for I guess production work. He worked with Kendrick Lamar. That's kind of how he got his big star. He did bass work and production. He also worked with Flying Lotus.
Okay.
So this is kind of like his big mainstream debut.
I see.
And people loved it. It's in the 1001 records to listen to before you die.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
Yes, this definitely should be on there for sure. Yeah, no, it's a tight album. I loved it.
Yeah, man. I guess the historian segment, I gave you a little bit of background, but the album itself was released February 24th, 2017 on Brain Feeder Records, and is the third studio album and the most famous, with the lead single, Them Changes, probably being his most well-known song. So yeah, I guess without further ado, shop right into this track list. Yes, Matt?
So for the listeners that can't see what just happened, I'll share with you. I lost my glasses a little while ago.
That's right, in the pocket dimension.
I popped these new reading glasses that I actually had my mom lend me, and the lens in the right eye just decided to snap and pop out.
I see now.
So we're going blind,
Let's
baby.
go. Going in blind, baby.
Oh boy, I'm glad we have consistency that I still won't be able to read my notes. But anyway,
We're nothing if not consistent.
let's get started. So first of all, album cover.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's so good.
I don't know why, but it really fits the tone so much.
You get such a sense of his personality just by looking at it.
But there's also something kind of upsetting about it too, where it feels like you're drowning, and it's it's an interesting little
Yeah,
it's like a really the album's really has a sad tone, but it has some really funny references in the middle of it.
Yeah, it kind of the concept, it's not really a concept album, but it starts out like a rabbit hole is kind of the idea, where it starts out pretty light, but the further you go down, the darker the tone kind of gets. So I guess that's kind of what you can get from the album cover. It's goofy, but there's also something kind of dark about it.
No, for sure. But it's also relatable.
Yeah.
I feel like, too, especially people our age, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which we will not disclose on this podcast, but anyway.
No, you don't get that privilege yet.
I'm 8 years old. Well, I spoiled it. But anyway.
And I'm 62.
Together, I don't know.
I'm going to jail.
Together, we form a lawsuit. Anyway, the first track, Rabbit Hole.
Rabbit Hole.
I see. I really like the jazzy synth.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's like an e-piano kind of deal. Is he a multi-instrumentalist? Did he do all this himself?
He did the bass work, and then he had, I believe, other people do the keys and the drums, because that's pretty much all the instruments that appear is just keys, bass, and drums.
with some little extra.
Yeah, some flavor in there, you know.
Exactly. Some little pads.
Yes,
and
yes. But yeah, for the most part, he just did bass work and vocals.
Okay.
I don't remember the piano's name. I apologize. I put it in the description.
But the piano work and like the e-piano stuff, also just the jazzy feel in general. It's such a great. I think it's a great opener.
Yeah.
It really does do a good job of setting the tone, so I'm very happy. There's not a lot to say about this one, only because this is one of I think 6 really short tracks.
Yeah, it's basically like a transition song, and like the opener is only like about 40 seconds.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I think I like it. I love the production on the album so far. I loved it when I was listening to it so far, and I like the lyrics.
Yeah.
The whole descending kind of feel.
Still feel weird. That's actually the next song. I just spoiled that.
Well, listen, Captain Stupido. No, I'm kidding. That's the name of that's the name of the next track, Captain Stupido.
Also, Rabbit Hole transitions very nicely into that.
It's a nice little seamless,
Yeah, it kind of like picks up where Rabbit Hole left off, and then starts picking up the tempo before all the instruments come in with those like layered harmonies by Thundercat. It's such a nice tone.
It really, really is. AJ, beat your meat and go to sleep, okay?
Words to live by.
I didn't mean to write it in this like syntax, but like I meant to I put like that lyric, because that's a lyric in the song, beat your meat and go to sleep. I put that in quotes, and then I meant like the song itself, but I wrote, I like this a lot.
I mean, man, I'm right there with you.
It was just funny. Like, I don't know why I wrote it like that. But no, I am a fan of like the way this song like is, especially I like the beat. It's like such like a weird there's
like a lot going on. It's kind of like a bit of a shuffle, but like everything just, it feels like there's so much more going on too.
It kind of reminds me, like weirdly enough, it kind of reminds me of Steely Dan, but maybe like even smoother somehow. Okay. Like it's weird. Like I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely see it. It's got that jazzy kind of feel. I think this album is classified as new funk.
Yeah.
Which you can definitely hear.
Yeah, for sure. I kept trying to look up like what the genres were. It just kept coming up as like R&B, because I guess like primarily he's like he's known as an R&B artist to like the general public. But I love what they're doing with like the chord structures, especially like it, and then the bass work just kind of like holds it all together. But it's not like in danger of going off the rails either. That's the one thing about this album. It's so clean and it feels very directional at all times,
even though it sounds chaotic too.
It's insane. It's insane. I love the way he arranged all this.
It's a great balancing act, especially like showing off his bass work. Just he's like one of the best bassists like alive right now. It's fucking insane.
I was thinking that literally. I think I wrote that in my notes. Like this, holy shit, this guy's so good at bass. Or like the bass work was so good because I didn't know he played. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think I also like about how this song's kind of about like day-to-day life and also maybe like living in a rut.
Like the monotony of it,
Yeah. So hey, very relatable.
Yeah, just getting stuck in a routine, doing the same thing. I think I left my wallet in the club. Who can relate?
No, exactly. It makes it gives it a feel of like a systematic kind of vibe of society and like routine, but it's also like it's like protocol, but it's also just like very like
himself.
Yeah.
It has human. His personality. Yeah, exactly. That's a very good way to put it.
It's protocol, but human, because we all are kind of, as we're adults, we live in the little ruts that we call life.
Yeah, it's just an endless cycle of misery.
For our paychecks.
And beating your meat.
Yes.
And funny fart sounds.
Exactly. I did laugh at that, too. I forgot to mention. I forgot to write it down.
The song basically ends with a fart sound effect. It's great.
It's fantastic. But, AJ.
Yeah. Sans is back, ladies and gentlemen. Sans Undertale. I fucking adore this song. I love it so much.
The fucking bass solo in this it rips. Like, it's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Plus the drums too. They're so fucking fast, but so like complex. Seeing this live. I looked like a live video because I didn't know if this was like a sample or not. But this is like all I believe like real musicians playing it. It's fucking insane.
There's a live rendition of like on. That's incredible. I'm definitely looking that up later because oh my god, I love it. It gets really funky, especially, and like I love funk. That's like one of my favorite genres of music. Here, so I love it's fantastic. But I feel like what's great about this song, like thematically too, it feels like a downward spiral. Yeah, which I'm pretty sure is like the point is that it's starting. Yeah, like it's like almost a concept album in that respect. Yeah, but it feels chaotic. But again, like at the same time, it does a good job of not going like
off the rails.
Yeah. it feels like it's like scripted chaos.
Yeah, it's controlled.
Yeah, controlled. Exactly. But I'm a fan.
Yeah, I mean the vocals, there really isn't anything besides Thundercat going
The bass, when it was like, I think there's one part where it's like descending like in this channel and then the other channel.
So
dude,
fucking good. Production on
so
this album is
good.
fucking great too.
It's got some crazy melody lines. I also wrote, the beat is just a light but impactful, speedy little chicken. I don't know what that means.
Decipher that in the comments, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll leave it up to you guys.
I also really like how the song begins, where it has those like weird kind of dissonant piano keys.
Yes.
Before it just like transitions right into there.
It's
with the bass work, it's great.
The pacing on this whole album in general too is really good. I got a lot of really good things to say about "Drunk" by Thundercat. There's a lot of, even like the title track. Like I have a lot of really good things to say about it. So it doesn't end here. But yeah, that is Is that how you just say it?
Yeah.
Next is A Bus in These Streets.
This one is cool. I one that I never like really went back to, but upon listening for the podcast, I really enjoyed. It had kind of like a Phil Spector production sound to it, which I really liked.
Phil Spector, man.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, what a piece of shit who unfortunately made a lot of really good music.
I know, it's unfortunate. And it reminds me here with like the drum, I guess like the tone of the drums kind of has that like gated sound to it.
Yes. It sounds, one thing I love about this track in particular, it sounds really fluffy.
Yeah.
Like it's a very fluffy sound. It's hard to make drums sound so fluffy.
It's got everything is that wall of sound, like tone that he's like known for. It's great.
It's also like such a clean vibe.
Yeah.
Like most of the songs are very clean, but this one is, it's pretty,
particularly spotless.
It's Mr. Clean, okay? Like
it's got the urn on and everything, dude.
Exactly. It's bald. But anyway,
Yes.
I like the way the song has like a stream of consciousness style of like lyric writing too. That's another thing I admire, because like, especially with like the overall topic, you can just go like,
you say whatever you feel.
For sure. But at the same time, like, it's never too much.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy about that.
Like, it's not like going in different directions. It's like a clear topic, but just the way it's delivered, it just sounds like he's just like rambling about the internet.
For sure. The drums are so nice.
Yeah.
I said the fluffy thing before, but the drums are just like so fucking nice. I feel like they're there enough, but they leave enough room in the song for the other instruments to breathe. Like it's grounding, but it also feels like clouds at the same time. Like it's weird. It's weird.
It's impressive how they're able to like do that.
It really, really is. And the keys and the synth sound like so ethereal.
Yeah.
In different parts.
That's that just like upbeat tone to the whole thing.
It's fresh.
It is very fresh.
It's like, imagine, ladies and gentlemen.
5 gum.
I was literally just about to say that. Picture, if you will, you take the first bite of 5 gum. Don't fucking ask what flavor. That's up to you. That's not my problem. But listen.
I'm not your dad.
I'm not your dad. Anyway.
A fan's mail.
A fan's mail. The Tron Suite 2. This one, holy shit, I have so much respect. There are Daft Punk samples.
I don't know if it's a sample. I looked it up. I don't think it's a sample, but it does have a similar progression as Something About Us, at least like the bass work.
I also heard like the chords, like it sounded like...
Oh, the keys?
Yeah. No, like the bong.
Oh, okay.
Bong,
Gotcha.
Bong, bong. Like it had like the same... Which if it did, hey, whether or not, it's a great chord progression,
that is true.
So I'm not even going to, whether he sampled it or not, he probably did listen to Daft Punk, and I respect the hell out of it.
It's cool that it's there.
Yes, exactly.
But this is a song about his cat, Tron, and he's just admiring the lifestyle of a cat and how cool it would be.
I'm very, very glad that you explained it to me, because I was like, why is it called the Tron Suite?
Yeah, his cat's name is Tron.
Because I missed it in the movie, I suppose.
That's true. They kind of wrote him out in Tron Legacy, so that's a crucial plot point that they just don't like pick up on.
Did you hear they're making a new Tron Legacy with Jared Leto?
That's unfortunate.
I'm pretty sure that's who they had.
It's Tron in time.
This song's really funky.
It is.
I'm a fan of the vibe. The riff that keeps playing over and over again is so fun.
I love the sound of the bass. It sounds so like bubbly on the song. It's great.
The overall, like the melodic lines and stuff feel very call and response, which is really cool. Like it's like people in music describe like melody lines as like a sentence, you know, for all the snobby motherfuckers out there.
Us.
Yeah, like us. Yeah, no, but like this definitely felt like almost like a musical conversation among the instruments, which I really enjoyed.
Damn, that was fucking profound, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, I try. Or maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. Who knows?
And it's funny you say this about a song about a cat, you know?
For real. I didn't say this about Delilah.
I know, I was going to bring that up.
I love the Lion King references too. There were like a few different ones, and the cat noises.
Yeah,
they definitely
meow
help. This is only the second time we've heard cat noises on the Family album.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who knows how many more we'll have?
Hopefully more. We need more. Here in the Family album.
When we do a Josie and the Pussycats episode, we'll be set.
I actually like Josie and the Pussycats.
I don't think I've ever listened to one of their songs, or at least I wouldn't recognize it.
They're interesting. I had a record, but I think it got destroyed.
I'm sorry, man.
Overall, what I really love about the song is just how upbeat, but also laid back it feels.
Yeah, it's very chill.
It is. This next one, I really fucking love.
Yeah, this one's awesome.
It's called Lava Lamp. It's the 6th track. Oh man, it's so good. Those harmonies on the ooze are like amazing and so on point. I love how impactful yet dampened the snare drum is. Like, it's so fucking good.
It's really cool. Just like all like the filters and production that goes into the drum work to make it sound different on almost every track, and it fits the tone just perfectly. Yeah, it's awesome.
No, it's fantastic. Like, I don't know why this song has its title though.
I don't really know either.
I see.
But like this, I think Jethro, the next track, and Day and Night, possibly, they're all about death.
Okay.
And dealing with like the death of a loved one.
Interesting.
I don't know how the title relates, but that's just what the theme is. Which we can, I guess, kind of get from the tone because it's a nice break from all the kookiness we've had so far.
For sure. I know they start mentioning like Dragon Ball at some point. So,
they do.
And which is pretty tight, not gonna lie.
He has a whole song on his 2020 album called Dragon Ball Do-Rag. That song fucking rips.
I'm gonna listen to that later. It definitely is a nice calm before the storm kind of deal. Yeah, because like it gets definitely the album definitely picks up. Like at some point, it has like a lot of like action happening, but it's cool.
Yeah,
I think it feels like there's also this weird hint of like it's like acceptance of a breakup almost.
Okay,
like it like I think that's what I kind of got from the
kind
lyrics.
of like moving on a little bit.
Yeah. But like not really at the same time. Like it seems like I wrote unacceptance because it sounded like I think
that's true because he talks about like trying to like go to finding them.
Yeah,
like after they've left. Yeah,
I at least that's what I interpreted it as. I'm terrible at interpreting lyrics on the fly. But yeah, I love how sad the song sounds, but like it's also kind of like,
there's a little bit of an upbeat there too. For sure. I love how spacey it sounds too.
Yes, the piano is so good. Great. I love it. I love like insanely like electronic piano sound. It makes things sound so much better in my opinion because you can use it in almost every situation. Piano's just great in general.
I know, great instrument.
It's fantastic.
Kind of slept on, guys.
Yeah. I'm a fan of like the usage of these like muted little square sequencer.
Yeah,
it's very, very nice. I love me a good oscillator. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Honestly,
who can relate, guys?
Here at the Family album, no.
Yeah, that's just like some like nice like I guess texture and tone to like the album keeps it like more like interesting. Some cool stuff going on
for sure. It honestly, what's cool about it is like it made this weird like really artificial like 8-bit chiptune kind of sound. It like it reminds me of the one song off of Random Access Memories by Daft Punk with Julian Casablancas.
Oh yeah.
Is it Instant Crush? Is it that one?
I think so, yeah.
I should know. I've listened to the album like millions of times. But yeah, it reminds me of that a little bit with like the little like beep boop.
Yeah.
Beep boop boop bop.
Nah, man, you're thinking of the one that goes.
But yeah, I like Lava Lamp a lot.
Yeah, it's sad but peaceful.
I also just realized I wrote it as Lave Lamp.
All right, guys, that'll do it for this week's episode. We're sorry.
I'm fired. I'll see you guys never. But anyway, track number 7 is Jethro. Not a lot to say about this one because it's just so short, but I do love like the keys and the sequencer in this one.
I like the beat too.
Yeah, for sure. It's the whole thing's just like full of movement.
Yeah,
there's a lot of these little like short little songs like throughout the album, but I feel like
it got so much energy to it.
Yeah, it really, really does. I'm a fan. This nice little like I can only describe it as like a buzzing cadence.
Yeah, there's a lot of whirring going on.
Yes, yes, there is. Yes, there is. But we can move into the next one, which is also pretty short.
Yeah, even shorter than Jethro.
Yeah,
it's Day and Night. This is basically just a transition song,
pretty much. Yeah.
But it's cool. I like the kind of wild like vocals in the background, plus the like super like chill bass line. Or is it the synth line? It's very funky.
It is. Unfortunately, I didn't write a lot of notes for it because I like to write my notes in real time with me listening.
Yeah.
So I wrote, "Oh, this is interesting so far." and then oh shit, that was really short.
Fair enough.
It literally only feels like a few seconds.
I think it's like 25 or 30. It's a very short song.
But nonetheless, hey, it didn't drag the album down.
Exactly.
So as far as I'm concerned, I like it.
And it transitions to the next song beautifully.
Show You the Way.
Dude, this might be my favorite song on the album. It's a love letter to the yacht rock genre, brings back the two icons of that genre, Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald.
Dude, I didn't see that like Michael McDonald was on this album or Kenny Loggins actually. So when I hear him go, ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Loggins, I was like, no fucking way, actually. Dude. And then I looked at the credits, I was like, oh my God, holy shit.
Dude, Michael McDonald, he did key work for the song too.
No fucking way, really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's wild. That is absolutely insane to me. The song sounds galactic.
It
almost,
does,
and I love it. And the bass on this one.
Yeah, the bass line is really good. It's right in the pocket.
It really does like such a good job of like keeping it together.
Like moving. I like the break after Michael McDonald's verse comes in.
Yes.
Like the instrumental break, it's so fucking nice.
Honestly, this shit is fire.
It's probably my favorite song on the album. It feels like a Steely Dan song, or not a Steely Dan song. It has that's the Steely Dan smoothness, but like maybe like a Doobie Brothers kind of hook. It's great. It's basically everything great about yacht rock, just modernized, and I love that.
Nah, for sure. It's also just a very smooth song altogether.
So even if like you don't know the history, you can still vibe with it.
For sure.
Yeah.
The little spoken word thing at the end, I was like, the fuck did you say?
I also love all like the introductions of everyone where he introduces himself. Yeah. It's the best part.
That was pretty good. It's nice to know that with all this musicality, he also has a sense of humor. Yeah. But his sense of humor also doesn't infringe upon the overall listening experience.
Yeah, it just adds to it.
Like, it's not like a shit post. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's easy for a lot of artists to just do that and try to be funny.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It's like Ween. Like, they strike a good balance of humor and like seriousness.
For sure. Yeah. Like, they can back up like anything they write about with like their musicality because they're both so good. How many members? 5?
Yeah, 5.
5? Okay. But anyway, Ween's great.
Yes.
Walk On By, the 10th track of Drunk by Thundercat. I love how this one is really stripped down compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
It just like, oh man, and then when Kendrick comes in.
I know, dude, Kendrick's verse is so fucking good.
Oh my God, it's so good. It feels like, thematically though, it feels like a very nice, like what I refer to as like a backstage moment.
Okay, yeah.
Where like it feels like it's behind the scenes in the after hours of your day.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel like this is almost a concept album in a way.
Yeah, it is very like stripped back and toned down, a little more serious sounding from the rest that we heard so far.
And Kendrick's fucking like verses are like insane, and I love them. I love the way he raps.
I know.
I really gotta listen to more of him. I've only listened to Damn.
Dude, To Pimp a Butterfly is fucking incredible. I think you'd really enjoy.
I'm trying to get into more rap because I feel like I do not listen to it nearly enough.
I have plans for this podcast, so just stay tuned.
Oh fuck yeah! I'm always trying to expand my genres anyway. But I love how this one literally had like I mentioned before the stripped down like vibe of it because it's only like keys for a little bit.
I think so. It's only keys and like some 808s kind of. 808, instead of like drums, it goes for like a more digital kind of sound, which is cool.
And it's really good.
Yeah.
Like this is also just a really good feature. Is this the last feature that's on this album? Is there any other ones?
Pharrell Williams comes in towards the very end. Wiz Khalifa is also there.
Wiz Khalifa. Yeah. I did write about him too. How did I not write about Pharrell Williams? That's wild. But anyway, I love how private and intimate this entire track feels.
You can really hear it in like his vocals too. Just kind of like how like strained he sounds, but like still like mellow. It's cool.
No, absolutely. I love it. I really, really love it a lot. Yeah.
Not much else to say. Just a really, really good song. Really good run of songs too.
Thank you, Kendrick.
And Thundy.
Oh Lord. Track number 11.
Blackkk.
What meter is this in? Is it 5/4?
I think it's 5/8.
5/8.
1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to count it out.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I really love the vocal harmonies in this one too.
Yeah.
There's also this weird, interesting theme of worship that's in this. But the song's called like Blackkk
because
it talks about like the holy light or whatever. Yeah. But like blackness has like no light. You know what I mean? Like there's like, you know what I mean? Like when
it absorbs all the colors or whatever.
Yeah.
That shit.
It's just interesting that like I really want to know what like the song is about.
I have no idea.
Neither do I. I was hoping you did.
Sorry, I didn't look this one up. I was vibing too much.
Maybe Reddit knows.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a subreddit of this.
Oh, there's always been like a Thundercat subreddit.
I love like the weird like kind of contrast of like the title and like what it's saying, because it literally talks about like bathing in light. I'm like, what is this song about?
The holy imagery combined with this kind of like goofy backbeat. It's cool.
It's interesting.
It's also very short.
It is. The drums fucking awesome. They're amazing.
Very good.
Doesn't have a lot, but this, I enjoyed every second.
Yeah,
of
much like all these other transition songs, even though they're short, there's just something to take away that's really great.
Moving right into track number 12.
Tokyo. What a fucking song.
The intro is magnificent.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Like the levels of tones that are happening between like yet again like the 8-bit sort of feel, like old, like
with the keys.
Retro, I think is the word I'm looking for. Because I think in terms of video games, apparently, there's sort of like retro sort of sound again, like on the top, but then like also like the beats feel so like
16th note hi-hats, which really keeps the song moving, but it has that like ethereal feel too, just like the sound of adventure.
Is there a line that's like shit blow all my cash on anime?
Yeah,
I wrote that down.
I'm going to the Gundam Cafe
with quotes. Dude, the Gundam Cafe, I would totally eat there.
Yeah, man.
Like a giant robot like serves you food. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a nerd. I don't know if you
couldn't tell.
We are both pretty. I think me more than AJ. I'm a pretty big nerd.
I love the line "Goku fucking ruined me." Yeah. I can relate to that.
This is the Dragon Ball reference,
right?
It's like right here. This is just the Interesting that it groups in with a song called Tokyo.
Yeah, it's basically about him kind of admiring Japanese culture, taking a trip to Tokyo, and then explaining how he got into like anime and just the culture in general. He went to the dentist and he got a Dragon Ball Z toy. And he said ever since then, it just clicked.
The way I can describe the synths in this is gooey. Like it feels weird. Like
that actually, I can see that.
Like it fits, but at the same time, I wish I can like I need more verbiage, guys. Send me a thesaurus. I need more verbiage for like the way like these sounds are, but like it works though. Like
it does.
It's so good.
It sounds like a little phlegmy, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, no, he really coughed up a great song there, but it's great beat. The beat is also fantastic.
Yeah, the 16-note hi-hats are fucking awesome.
Then the lyrics, Dragon Ball.
It's a fun song. Like it's kind of a shitpost, but it's also like very like respectful and nostalgic, and I love that.
It doesn't detract from like the overall respect that I'm giving to the album. I feel like, and I think does the intro from the beginning also end the song too? Or am I thinking of another one?
That would be another one, because this one just kind of ends with like the just the synth effects, just kind of like.
Some of them did kind of run together just like a little bit, but like
fair.
I loved every minute of it at the same time. I'm definitely re-listening to this. Spoilers. The next one is this also a really short one?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Jameel's Space Ride.
Yeah, this reminds me of like an NSP song, like instrumentally and lyrically.
Yeah, I can see that a lot. It immediately reminded me of Video Killed the Radio Star. And I was like, the fuck?
Just like the delivery of his vocals and the syncopation, plus like the background, the fuck yeah.
Yeah. The intro was similar a little bit to the last one, I felt. But I also
feel like it's kind of similar to Bus on the Streets a little bit. But they're still both very good, and there's enough to distinguish them.
I love how the song just sounds like video game music.
Yeah.
Like, he does a really good job of like, there's like variety in this album for sure, but it's not like an insane amount of like whiplash of like vibes, like let's say Death of a Bachelor, for example. Like there's not a lot of like whiplash there.
Everything's cohesive, like it fits the sound.
For sure. Like it all sounds like it's supposed to be together.
Yeah.
It's like a nice little song about wanting to cast off this pall, as they say, as in Pall.
Not to be confused with our first guest, Paul Mueller.
No, we cast him off a long time ago. Yeah, he's never coming back.
He's exiled in like the Arctics right now.
But like it's just sort of like wanted to just take off this little albatross and like be free.
Fly away. This is dedicated to his brother, which is cool. That's all I had to say.
I'm pretty sure there are N64 sound effects in this.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like I recognize there was like one sound that was like, that's my video game. I know it.
Yeah.
Like this album kind of made me realize how much of a nerd I am. But it's fun. Like,
but he's a nerd too.
It's a fun song though. Yeah. It's a fun song, but it's also it's short, but it's nice.
Yeah. Very pleasant.
It still just continues to add more to these 23 tracks. This next one, however, I fucking love this song. The synth pads with the E-piano are just chef's kiss. It is called Friend Zone. Track number 14. the bass has this like nice little like creeping like feel to it.
It's got more of like a kind of like a hip hop kind of feel to it, like musically, which is really cool. It's got that nice upbeat, like bouncy vibe. With the digital synths too, kind of added that, like the sound like pad that they use, which is really cool. Also, the references to Diablo and Mortal Kombat are fucking awesome.
For sure. I love the alarm sound that kind of happens.
Yeah, the phone ringing in the intro, like he's like ignoring a call. That's such like great, just like texture. It's awesome.
For sure. Because like the phone ringing, somebody that I lived with, that alarm would go off like every morning, and like I was like, oh god, a little bit
war flashbacks.
But no, it was awesome. It was I really like the way that it's used. I also love the way that they harmonized around it with all the instruments. That's a very interesting production choice, which I appreciated.
It's awesome. Really adds to like the overall theme, plus like just the beat itself. You can just get into this so hard. It's a big head bobber energy, you know?
No, for sure. The synth horns, like there's like a synthesized like horn sound. It reminds me of Floral Shop.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Like, it feels almost similar, just a little bit.
I gotcha.
The song fucks.
It does.
It's very, very good.
All about kind of like being in the friend zone and not kind of doing things for others that aren't going to like give anything back to you. And just self-love, basically.
The synthesizer work on this entire track is amazing. Yeah, it was...
The glasses are really becoming a hindrance now.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are indeed. I feel like Mr. Magoo without my glasses. Yeah, no, I'm adding this to my playlist.
Hell yeah,
it's amazing.
It's
not
great.
Not a lot to say. It's incredible.
Great song.
We also have a lot of other tracks to get through,
also
so
true.
I'm trying to make sure that like I don't
keep it going,
bog it down. Number 15, Them Changes.
Yeah, the big hit.
I should have expected from the overall sound of this album that this song would be on it. This song trended a lot on TikTok and like still does.
I can imagine.
There's this trend that goes on where these artists like on paper will just draw this really, 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 really tiny picture of a room. But there's this filter that like expands the drawing or whatever and makes you look like you're going down like a long hallway with all these like things.
That's kind of cool.
Whatever the artist draws, but it's funky and it sounds like really like, I don't know. This song trended. And when I heard it, I was like, okay, yeah. I also, interesting lyrics.
Yeah.
Nobody move.
There's blood on the floor.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like about like a breakup, and just kind of like juxtaposing it with this like really dark imagery, just about like how he feels about it, which is really cool. Like, My Heart's Not Yours to Take is like really cool. Also, the drums are sampled from an Isley Brothers song.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the bass lines are so fucking good.
It really is.
Iconic.
Fine craftsmanship, honestly. Like, insane. I really like the song as a whole. It's one of the most interesting songs about heartbreak I've ever heard. Yeah. Lyrically and musically. I've never... This was the first time I also heard the whole song in full.
Yeah. Not just that one, like, sample bit.
Yeah. That's, like, on TikTok and just tramples. Or,
Trends.
I don't know. I read the word sample and then I try to say trend. I said trample.
Well, TikTok is known for trampling.
Yes, on all of our
and the U.S. government
on our productivity, especially because a lot of people, me included, stay on there too much. But yeah, no, I like this track a lot.
Yeah, also like really cool structure, like the nice piano interlude after I think this first chorus. Yeah, which really like helps like separate the vibe before coming right back in on that bass line for the second verse. It's awesome.
No, for sure. I like this one a lot. Let's move into track number 16. Yes. That is Where I'm Going. These drums fuck.
Yeah, it's a very jarring departure from what we heard before. Probably the most different sounding on this entire album, but it works. It's very cool.
Who is the drummer on this? Do you know?
No, I'll put it in the description though.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. This song is fun. I like the sort of like suspension sort of feel with like I think it's like the chord structure. That's what I wrote it about. Yeah, it was. Sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. No, I really like the way that like the chord structure kind of like has this little suspense vibe a little bit. Yeah. But the bass is pretty good. Yeah. I really like it a lot.
As per usual, very nice. The drum is like the like star of this song, but all the other instruments are great. The vocals are cool too. He has like a vocal like filter on it, which helps like keep the song kind of fresh. It's weird, but it works. It's neat.
For sure. But
Yeah.
not a lot to say about
Another shorter one. It's just cool.
It is. Yes, it is.
Moving on to this next track.
I also really fucking love this
track's
song.
Awesome.
I know this one from another
TikTok?
I don't know if it was TikTok. I heard it somewhere else, maybe. I don't know where I heard it, but I knew this song.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I really love Wiz Khalifa's rap style and this one too.
It's also called Drink Dat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those like synths, I think it's called like a saw lead, like SAW lead.
Okay.
Because it sounds really like direct. They're fucking nice. I really like it. The song is very clean at the same time. And again, the bass, it's the star.
It's incredible.
It's the star. It's the star of the album. It's laid back, but has this like air of like really like a lot of passion. At the same time, like
the vibe of the song is really cool. It feels like the come down at a party. It's like 2 a.m. People are just like passing out, but like there's still like room for fun to be had. As a Thundercat reminisces about this girl who wants to just keep the party going by fueling him with drugs and alcohol. I also love how the beat, the 2 and 4, is clinking bottles. Yeah, that's such a nice production choice
for sure. It's a very interesting stylistic choice for sure. I really like the way they went about that.
Adds to the atmosphere.
I think the chorus is what I like about this song the most. It's catchy all the way through, and like I don't get tired of it.
Yeah,
my fatigue on this album was non-existent. But I will confess, I didn't listen to it all the way through like in one sitting. I did break it up a bit, which I feel like helped a lot.
Yeah, I can see that. Kind of going into like the later tracks, like specifically like right towards the end, it's a little kind of blendy, but I still like it a lot.
Yeah. Track number 18.
Yes.
Inferno.
This one's interesting. This one kind of grew on me. I was never really a huge fan, but coming back to it, I enjoyed it. It's really cool. Like the kind of barbershop quartet harmonies he has to introduce the lyrics is really awesome. The strings on this song too are awesome.
The strings come in and makes the song sound so full. Yeah. Like out of nowhere. The guitar and the bass in the very beginning, I feel like it does a really good job of like expanding into this like really interesting sound.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say like a composition piece, but it feels more like professional in terms of like maybe classical is the word I'm looking for.
Possibly.
Yeah. It's just like a weird kind of change of pace from what we've been hearing. It's just this really like dark sounding, almost orchestral vibe. It's neat. It's cool.
It feels like insanity.
Yeah,
it definitely does. Like the whole, I think that was obviously it was intentional.
Yeah,
but like the way it's composed, it makes it feel like more spiraling into madness, maybe out of madness.
Yeah, it's basically kind of like preparing for like the worst days to come. Like you know bad shit's gonna happen, so just getting ready for that.
Yeah. This album takes liberties very rarely, but like every single time it does. Like the album itself doesn't feel flat, and the liberties are like very good. Yeah, like I don't know, they fit everywhere that he puts them. So I'm very happy with how he arranged it. I suppose
he sticks to his guns, but he's not afraid to mix it up a little bit, and it always pays off.
I also one last thing I'll say about this, just so we can keep moving. Yeah. I really like how there's a callback to I think Them Changes.
Okay,
at some point.
Like lyrically?
I thought like musically. Maybe I'm thinking of like another song.
I'm not sure.
It sounded a little bit like Them Changes at some point.
With the bass line or?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't catch that if that's the case, but I'll have to re-listen then.
All right. Cool. Number 19, this is where things kind of start getting very interesting in terms of like the length and the structure and stuff. I Am Crazy.
Yeah. Another transition song. Very short as well. It sounds similar to like some tracks we heard before in the beginning.
It's very retrospective.
That's true.
Of the past experiences. Not a whole lot to say.
No, it fits the vibe of like, I guess the rabbit hole. We're kind of getting like really deep into it now when all the existential shit's happening.
Yeah. 3 a.m.
This song's really cool.
I really like it.
Yeah.
The pads
are great.
Fantastic. It's very light. Like the whole song feels very, very light.
Yeah.
My only gripe about it is that it's way too short.
I know. I wish it was longer, but it does really capture that sound of like waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to go back to sleep. Just like that sound is awesome.
I guess I respect that too, because like that's like a moment where like you're not gonna really think about it a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and like I completely forget until like late, like so much later. So I mean, I guess it fits, but at the same time, I'm like, I really wish that it was longer.
Yeah.
I would have killed to hear that for like a few more seconds.
It would have been like a really nice song had they expanded it. But yeah, moving on, we have the title track, Drunk.
Very interesting that it was track 21 that they did the title track.
It's cool.
It is.
He keeps you on your toes.
For sure. Between Dragon Ball and the Gundam Cafe, and then a song about his cat, Tron, Legacy,
Heartbreak,
Jared Leto, you know what I mean?
Unfortunately, the Jared Leto song, caused some controversy.
No, there's so many songs on here that like I forgot. I didn't even know there was like a title track.
Yeah,
like called Draw. Honestly, there were so many tracks.
Yeah, there's a lot of tracks. Do we have anything else to say about Drunk?
Not really.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, we have the Turn Down. This is the song with Pharrell Williams. This is a really interesting like sound. Like it's more like hip hop, kind of like R&B stuff. You have the like background sample of like this random vocal that pops in on the left and the right channel, like every like couple intervals, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
I also like the Captain Planet shout out.
Yeah, that was
fun.
Interesting. Because isn't it like Where is Captain Planet?
Yeah.
Is that what he's saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. I like how the song kind of also talks about like life and the meaning of life. Yeah. Almost, it's very existential. Mm-hmm. I also feel like the length is perfect for this song. I feel like if the song was a little bit longer, I probably would have started getting a little bit fatigued.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that I only got like a little sense of fatigue on the second to last track. Mm-hmm. So that does not happen a lot.
That's a pretty good run.
Especially with a 23 track album. That is honestly...
That's very impressive.
Yes. The pacing, it just never stopped being good.
Yeah.
But again, I personally don't have a lot to say about this one.
I mean, I feel like it fits the tone of like the title. Like it's a turn down. Everything's kind of coming down. It's a little dark, but still very good. And it transitions into the last track very nicely.
DUI.
Yeah.
Nice little callback to the beginning.
Exactly.
Which I like.
Good bookend.
For Love sure. That. This is probably the most cosmic sounding song out of all of the tracks.
Very spacey, not a lot of like groundwork. It just kind of goes all over the place, like instrumentally. Nothing like really to keep it focused, but that it works.
I love all the synth leads and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And the reverbed vocals also sound very like it really adds to, I feel like, to the vibe.
Yeah. Plus it's basically just a Rabbit Hole extended. It's basically kind of like a nice little reflection piece about where we come from on our journey, and just goes back to the beginning, like you just shot right back out of the hole.
Yeah, as they say in the music business.
Exactly.
I feel like it just rounds off the album like very well.
Yeah,
and I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just a great closer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why not start after all this shit? Why not start with like the bookends?
Yeah, go back to the beginning. Yeah.
So I think it works.
Yeah. All right, Matt. I guess that brings us to our final thoughts. What did you think of Drunk by Thundercat?
I have a lot of respect for the ingenuity of this album. I feel like he took these choices that never infringed upon the overall vision of what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
And I'm very appreciative of that and all just the great moments, like musically and lyrically. I feel like also the vocals on this album were just so crisp, which I really enjoyed. I'm very glad I broke it up because the album is a little dense. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, it's like an hour run.
It's like a little less than an hour. It's like 57, I think.
But like with 23 tracks. So, I mean, it's not bad, but then, I guess for album reviewing purposes, when I have to keep going back and forth, but, and there's also there was a lot to keep track to write down, obviously, but, no, I mean, it was dense with tracks, but I feel like it's paced so well that I wasn't really fatigued. Yeah. I'm very glad I broke it up though, for sure. That was just because of scheduling conflicts, honestly. So I had to kind of break it up, but I'm very glad I did because I feel like it sort of allowed me to really enjoy each track more in little sections. So I'm very happy about that.
Nice.
Overall though, I feel like the album is full of really relatable lyrics and I love all the choices it makes. And honestly, the vibe is just very clean and I like it.
Nice.
So, I feel like all the instrumentalists were showcased their talents well, for sure.
100%. So what would be your final rating?
I definitely see myself re-listening this album in full again. So I'm going to say A tier.
Nice.
I'd say a solid 7.5 or 8 out of 10, and A tier.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it, and I liked the little rabbit hole journey it took.
Yeah.
7.5 lava lamp bubbles out of 10. But yeah.
In Thundercat currency, that's pretty good.
It's pretty it's pretty good. No, I enjoyed it. Thank you for bringing this album, AJ.
Of course, man. This was an album I got into 3 years ago when I was really starting to kind of explore my music taste, kind of listen to new things, and I really enjoyed it. I thought this album was perfect when I first listened to it, and coming back to it, I still love it, but there's issues I have with it. The back half, like I'd say the last maybe like 6 tracks, they kind of, blend together a little bit. That just has to do with the runtime and just like, I guess, the context. But it's still a great album overall. You get his personality. The instrumentalists are fucking incredible. The production is great. It's just an overall good time. So I'm going to give this about a 9.6 out of 10. I'm going to do an A+ tier.
I respect that. I think that rating is very well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to go back and listen to everything. But like, I did enjoy this album quite a lot. So I can't wait to re-listen.
Glad to hear.
Now, this next one.
Oh, this next one, yes.
AJ, I gave you the album X and Y by Coldplay.
Yes, you did.
Because I feel like...
you hate me.
Yes, I do. I wanted to sort of... I feel like they have so many things in their discography. I just felt like we probably need to talk about one of them.
Yeah.
Just because they are like a very prominent figure in pop history.
We brought them up last week. Have we brought them up anytime else before?
Possibly.
I know we talk about them from time to time off mic.
Yes.
But yeah, this is my first Coldplay album that I've listened to in full. I liked it more than I expected, but I still have gripes with it.
Of course. I used to really like Coldplay like a lot. But then, like, I keep trying to re-listen to I make playlists of like artists and stuff like that. I keep trying to listen to all like the songs that I liked from their albums, and like for some reason I can't do it, and I don't know why. I thought it'd be great if you shared in the struggle with me.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely share my struggles.
Why don't we jump in?
All right, so starting off with the history. X and Y was released June 6, 2005 on Parlophone Records in the UK and Capitol Records in the US. Coldplay formed in 1997 and consists of Chris Martin on vocals and piano, Johnny Buckland on guitar, Guy Berryman on bass, Will Champion on drums, and Phil Harvey is their creative director. This
album as a whole is very interesting because there are a lot of like EP. Coldplay likes to do this thing where they release a lot of CDs with like EPs and stuff like that, like around their albums, for the moolah.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a ton of different like songs that never even made it onto the actual album.
I heard like this production of this album was just like super hectic and stressful. Like they recorded so much stuff but barely used any of it.
Yeah,
I think because their creative director left at this time.
I think so, yeah. It's something like that. This album is very chaotic. Honestly, this album and one of their other famous albums, Viva La Vida, that they both had insane production history.
Gotcha.
Like, hey, that one, they got hypnotized in the production.
Like, actually?
They called in a hypnotist and it helped them with their creative process, apparently.
Huh.
So they were kind of, it's a weird way of being under the influence for songwriting.
Good for Coldplay, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. I guess, should we jump right in?
Yeah, I guess so. Starting off, we have Square One. I think this is a nice opener. I like the overall spacey kind of cosmic feel it has. The guitar riff is great. That's one thing I'll say about this album is the instrumentals are fucking awesome. All the instrumentalists show off their chops very well. The only thing I don't like Chris Martin's vocals throughout this entire album.
Okay, I see, honestly. Like, he has a lot of, he has a very interesting singing voice.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would describe it as nasally in the worst way possible.
It's like deep, but at the same time, like, he does have like an interesting range, I will say. But he does, like, he has a way of like belting out notes, and it's not like, it doesn't sound like he's straining.
Yeah.
But his voice is very weird.
It's just odd, man.
Yeah.
Like, he also does, much like Nate Ruess, he has some weird emphases on certain lyrics, which is interesting to look at. But yeah, I thought this was a really great way. This is another thing for the album. They'd have a lot of like really nice build-ups before the payoff happens in the chorus, which is really cool. Builds like a nice tension before everything just hits, and it feels really great. And this is a great example of that.
Like you mentioned before, Square One, I think, has some pretty good guitar. I kind of like the spacey vibe, as you mentioned. It's never one that I frequently listen to. I've only listened to this album I think twice. Okay, in its entirety. It's pretty forgettable for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I say the first half is pretty good, but the back half is just like nothing. It doesn't really do anything for me.
There's a term that somebody one time told me about Coldplay that kind of, I guess, led to ruining Coldplay for me. They described them as pseudo deep with their lyrics, and because I think they're an artist that people, they hear a lyric and then they're like, oh, that relates to me, but they're written so like broadly that it can relate to anybody.
anything, yeah.
It's like a horoscope almost. It's like like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, not to diss anybody.
Which sign are you? Parachutes?
Not to diss anybody who believes in horoscopes or follows horoscopes. You do you, but like,
Yeah.
it very much feels like that a little bit.
That's fair.
But I do Square One. I've never been. Yeah.
I mean, lyrically, I tuned the fuck out on this album. I was mostly just here for the music, so there's only a couple songs I really know what they're about. The rest, I couldn't tell you a single line from any of these songs.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. But let's keep going.
Yep. The next one we have, What If. This was a cool song. I didn't like it initially because it was a lot like slower than Square One, but then there's some great build up and it pays off in the chorus with Chris's really high voice. I think it really complements all the instrumentals. It feels very triumphant. It's very cool.
I like the guitar in this one. Like, it's something about it. Like, I really like this one. This was a frequent listen for me. Because I got into Coldplay during quarantine when nothing was happening. And I just needed like something that felt like substance and felt like just for me. You know what I mean? Like, but no, this song, honestly, during quarantine, it fucked hard, honestly.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I still kind of like it, honestly. But I just...
It's never really something I would go back to, but if I heard it, I wouldn't change the channel.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of the ones I like the most out of all these.
Yeah.
For sure.
Also, just a fun note, whenever, at least on this song, whenever Chris says the word you, he puts an E in front of it, so it goes, you.
Yeah, he does do that. What if you... That's way funnier than it should be. Do you believe in life after love? Oh man,
that's something. The Cher and Coldplay collab.
Oh, that'd be fucking wild. No, but I do like the instrumentation. On this album a lot. I think the strings that are throughout this album definitely like help.
Very nice. There's a track later that I think the strings are fucking phenomenal on. They're used very well. As you said, the guitars fucking soar on this song. It's great. And I really like Chris Martin's high vocal range. I think I like it a lot more than just what he does regularly.
Yeah.
So that's why I like it here.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Not a lot to say. I don't really dive into lyrics with this artist, mostly because they're very hard to decipher and nobody ever really knows what they mean. So we're just going to keep on moving.
Yeah. Here we have White Shadows. This was another Grower song. I like the overall vibe of it, though I will say most of these songs go on for way too long.
Yes, they are. They do have very long songs,
which sounds hypocritical for me. You know, defender of the long, if you will.
Champion of the long. Sorry, I don't know why that. I've been watching a lot of Always Sunny, so
great show,
fantastic,
love it.
But I can very much agree with that. I think it's also why I don't really like Coldplay like as much anymore.
Yeah, because like the songs, like bands like Genesis, when they have like 10-minute songs, there's so much variety. There's great structure, great instrumental breaks, reprises, so everything feels meaningful, and there's like so much going on that you're always like engaged. But here's like the same thing just over and over again, and it just gets really boring and repetitive. So I just kind of like start tuning out. Like this song could easily end like 3 minutes in, but it's like almost 6. Like why is that the case?
Yeah, I don't like the song at all. Like this is here's the thing. When it comes to Coldplay music, or Coldplay songs for me, the songs that I like, I really liked, but then the songs that like are not on my playlist, I just will never listen to, and I usually will
forget about them.
Abhor them.
Abhor them. That word.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Someone dropped off the thesaurus.
Thank you, Kyle. No, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one whatsoever. I feel like it's very flat.
Yeah, I like the guitars, and I like the bass riff too. How it emphasizes the upbeats is really nice. Yeah.
Not a lot to say. No, because it does go on and on for a long time.
Yeah, I think like the only thing I could really remember is like the permanent state lyric. That's like the only thing that's like, oh, that's White Shadows. Everything else I just couldn't really tell you.
Yeah, no, exactly. This next track.
Oh boy.
The meme song.
Also the first single off this album. This is Fix You. And I'll fix you very fucking good. And this song's a piece of shit.
Like, okay. This is what I mean with the whole like vagueness of the lyrics kind of deal. Like I'm sure in 2005, because people were not entirely as in touch with their emotions as they are now. I feel like this song probably spoke to thousands of millions even of people. And it did a little bit for me when I was listening to it when I had nothing else going on, because I didn't really know anything of Coldplay until like, quarantine. I did, but the thing is, I tried to listen to this song back the other day, and I went, shut the fuck up,
right?
Like
I thought I was alone in this. Like this sounds just so condescending when I hear this song. Like, thank you, man.
Like I don't know what it is. Like I used to really like this song. Like I love the organ. Don't get me wrong. Like I love the organ that happens in this song.
Yeah.
And I also really loved like the like it's fun. It's a fun little cathartic little like 2-note guitar solo.
Also the drum beat.
Yes, the drums. The drums do hit hard.
Will Champion, he is the fucking champion of this album. His drum work's phenomenal throughout.
Do you know he also does most of the high vocals on like in the background harmonies?
That's cool.
His vocal range is almost like Roger Taylor.
Oh, cool.
Like it's kind of insane. He has a lot of contribution to the vocals. So I do like
awesome.
Will Champion.
I didn't even know that. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. They're all pretty good instrumentalists and like pretty good like performers in general.
They are good instrumentalists. It's just that like there's not a lot of variety and they don't know when to stop.
No. It can drag. Fix You. The lyrics, don't get me wrong, like, and I for people who like Coldplay, I'm not dissing your music taste. It's not for me anymore.
Yeah.
Like I've never had such a hard turnaround from an artist as much as I have with Coldplay. Like I really liked them and I see why, but at the same time, like I need to grow up. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I feel.
I saw this set to a fucking Dat Boy meme. I can't anymore.
Touche, my friend, touche. No, but like honestly though, Fix You, pretentious is I've never heard that take before, but honestly, not like I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Like what is it? What else about the song do you not like in particular?
Just like I guess the overall message is commendable because this whole album I think is dedicated to his wife because her father died.
Yeah.
So it's about just kind of like comforting her, which I respect, but in hindsight, it just doesn't come across that way. Like I'll fix you. It feels like you're trying to fix an issue of a person that you don't like. And it's weird instead of like, I'm all about like self-improvement shit. I don't want you to do shit for me. Like, fuck you, Chris. You're not touching me, bro.
Oh man. Yeah.
And it's just boring too.
It can get a little bit, it is really long.
Yeah.
The music video is kind of dope because just him walking into like in a dark alley.
Okay.
It's
and
also
then he gets stabbed, right?
No. Yeah, no. That's
I'll fix you.
That's on the EP version, actually.
Okay. UK exclusive, I see.
That sounds like the guy from Futurama. You see these clamps? I'll clamp you.
Clamp you.
I fucking love that show. But
Great
anyway,
show.
Yeah, no, I understand that completely. Why you don't like it? It's definitely not a fan favorite from me anymore. So yeah, that's Fix You.
That's Fix You. Don't like it.
We like you guys as musicians, and honestly, Chris, I'll disagree with AJ. I do like your voice,
okay,
but same time, I feel like this song has also become so memeified that I cannot listen to it anymore.
It's hard to take it seriously.
It came before Vine, but it just reminds me of Vine, and I can't anymore. And I also fucking hate this next song a lot. Talk, I really hate this song.
This song's lame.
This song, this song and another song later on the album are the exact same song, and I will die on this hill.
I'm surprised this was a single.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really feel like anything of substance.
No, it really doesn't. Yeah. Like, I don't even know. I guess it's about like a disagreement of some kind.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do like the loose interpretation again, but like I genuinely, I've never liked this song. I also hate the weird thing the guitar does where it's like like it sounds dumb to me. And then I had that shit stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, that's rough.
Oh god, it's so annoying. The drum work again, it's really
great.
good.
It's very good.
It's really good.
The hi-hat patterns are awesome.
I also love how the organ continues through to this song.
Key work is also very good.
Yes, Chris Martin is a very talented like man on the keys, but at the same time, it's like, okay, why did you choose Fix You to flow into Talk?
Yeah, because the riff at the start sounds very familiar to Fix You, which I was like, what the fuck? Am I still listening to the same song? It's just weird. But I do like during the chorus, after Chris says the vocals, the guitars play like the same syncopation, which is really cool. I like that. That's my production brain going on. But other than that, the song's kind of whatever.
It's pretty bland.
Yeah.
Not a lot to say about it. Let's move into another song that I don't like.
Really?
I don't like the song.
This is actually, I think, my favorite song on the album.
Like I said before, the ones that like I didn't like on my playlist, I don't like them.
Gotcha.
Because they're all really boring.
That is true.
Like I feel like Coldplay is one of those like artists that like, even when I did like them, you had to weed through their albums to find songs that you like.
Yeah.
I found a lot, but at the same time, I'm like, I never liked the title track, X and Y.
Gotcha. I actually really enjoy this. It reminded me of like an ELO song, just kind of with the strings especially, and I guess even like the syncopation of the vocals reminded, like I could hear this off of like Face the Music or something.
Yeah, okay, for sure. I mean, I also do like the idea that he like has in the lyrics about like, you know, you and me are floating on a tidal wave. Like it's nice.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It makes you feel, it's very intimate.
Yeah. Much like Fix You, it's commendable. It's about him trying to comfort his wife again, but she's like not responding. So it's a tough situation. I sympathize with Chris. So I respect it.
Yeah. I mean, it's, again, instrumentation wise, it's great. I also kind of felt the repetitiveness upon the re-listen. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it's less egregious here because this one isn't super long. Also, I wrote this down a lot. This song feels like you're traveling through a wormhole. With someone with a lot of wormhole experience, I can safely say.
How was the pocket dimension, by the way? Any repercussions of like being in there for too long, or?
There's this like black dot on like the inside of my wrist. Every like so often, there's like a big sting and some tentacles come out, but like I just got to spit on it. It's fine.
I see. Well, I hope you get that checked out, AJ.
It's fine.
Anyway.
Sorry, I had a little bit of an incident there.
Oh, geez, that was crazy. I like the lyrics that are actually in the song. I just feel like I don't like when they do the thing where, you know, they have so much of like an instrumental break that's just bland and then like lyrics in between. Yeah,
that don't do anything for you. I get it. I mean, I feel like, again, as resident, not a lyrics guy, I just kind of tune it out. I like how they're delivered more than what they're saying.
Yeah.
Which is kind of shallow, but you know.
It's not.
Oh, thanks, man.
Not that much, I feel like. You want somebody, like when you have lyrics, you want somebody who feels them, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I feel like there's some validity in that.
Okay.
But lyrics are important. I'm not dissing that either. I'm just saying, all you lyric people, please don't come after me.
I'm just team music. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, this song always blended together for me.
That's fair.
So I personally never liked it.
Yeah, the only other thing I want to say is that at some point the guitarist starts just noodling on the guitar and it pans through your right ear and it just feels like Johnny Buckland's tickling your ear.
It's a nice feeling, you know?
It is. The old buck tickle, you know?
The good old certified buck tickle. Available for $59.99.
And it will be split up into several EPs that you also have to pay for.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Speed of sound.
Yes. Want to hear a fun fact about this song?
Sure.
I heard from somewhere that apparently Chris Martin fucking hates this song.
Really?
Yes, I like it.
I like it too.
I really like
Maybe I just hate Chris Martin.
I really like this song a lot. I feel like this song, like, it was one of their most popular.
Yeah.
Off of this album.
It was another single, so that makes sense.
Yeah, like apparently I think a lot of concerts requested that they play this. So he just got really tired of it.
Gotcha.
I like it. It's
cool.
I love the da-da-da, it's nice.
I read up that this was inspired by Kate Bush, and I can definitely hear that in the production style. And even like the vocal delivery, it's awesome. It's very cool.
It's nice. Like you said, his high falsetto range is very, very pleasant.
I just like it so much more.
I feel like sometimes when he goes really, really low too, it gets kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like on another album, there's a song where he's like, "Whatever you do, don't let go." The brown note, you know? Just like
Coldplay makes you shit yourself.
The nice little 808. Not 808 defecate. But anyway.
My favorite Kanye album. 808s and defecate.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, Speed of Sound, I actually really, really like this one.
Yeah, the bass work is really cool here, very funky. I also love how Champion utilizes the full kit on this song. It's awesome. I want more drummers to do that, including myself.
It honestly, like, the only other song that it like kind of reminds me of, do you know, I feel like I always point to other music whenever I like things. I gotta stop doing that. But not right now, however. You know, on Daft Punk's album Random Access Memories, do you know the song Contact? The one with like the insane drum.
It's been a while since I've listened to it, so I'd have to like hear it to remember.
It reminds me of that song a lot.
Okay.
And I do like it a lot.
Sweet.
It's a good one. It's a very, very good one. I like
is
this
that the
one.
closer of Random Access Members? Yeah.
It is.
Okay. Cool.
It's fun. And then that song gets wild.
But that's a great fucking album.
We really should talk about it. But we
we'll
both listen to it. So, I mean, it's like...
And I'm down to just gush about Daft Punk for 30 minutes or an hour, depending on how long we do. You heard the Crybaby episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yee.
Her new album just came out at the time of recording.
No
I believe
fucking
a couple
way.
days ago, yeah.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have to return.
Yeah.
Because I heard a lot of her later stuff is also pretty good. So
Okay.
I might have to listen.
And then you'll subject me to listen.
We might have to listen, AJ. But Speed of Sound, it's a pretty... I think it's a pretty solid track. It kind of makes me sad that Chris Martin hates this one.
Yeah.
Only because a lot of people like it, and I see why.
Like, I was talking to my friend Evan a couple of days ago. He said this is his favorite, like, Coldplay song. So, which I understand.
Makes sense. This next track, I also... here's the thing. I don't think a lot of people like it, but I have a soft spot for it.
Okay.
I really like the guitar solo for it. Let me actually introduce it. It's A Message.
Yes.
I like this one.
Interesting.
I have a soft spot for it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the whole idea of just like, my song is love. It's a very nice little, I'm not going to leave you in the dust kind of song. I feel like it has more weight than Fix You, in my opinion.
Okay.
Lyrically.
I agree.
I feel like it's a lot more like I'm going to be there for you or not I'm going to try to fix you rather.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's good. I like that.
I feel like it delivers that message so much better than Fix You. I do think it can kind of be a little bit boring in the beginning.
Yeah, like I was gonna like the first thing that popped in my head when I first heard the song was like this sounds like someone at an open mic night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a great idea. I should do that at an open mic night, AJ.
Just play the entirety of X and Y.
No. No. But I do like this one. I also have like some like deeper meaning with it, because it resonates with me a lot. But I like this one. I feel like it does a good job of expanding the build up, as you kind of mentioned, like with general Coldplay tracks. I feel like it works. I like this one. I like the like the guitar.
Yo, Sam?
It has like a nice like there's a lot of really nice distortion on this one, which I do like.
The instrumentals are great. I mean, this song just like here's where I check out of this album. Like the first half, I'm pretty engaged, but once we get to A Message, I'm just done. It's like they just blend together. I can't really tell you much about it besides that I don't like it.
That's fair. That is very, very fair. Yeah, A Message. I like the message. I like. I just like the whole song. I'll die on the hill. I
certainly
like the song.
A message of all time. Yeah.
Yes, it certainly is. It certainly is the message of all time. This next song though, I don't like whatsoever.
No,
it's pretty boring.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I genuinely do not remember anything about
Neither do
song.
I. Like, I listened to it like this morning specifically, so I would remember it, and I can't tell you anything about it. Like, I wrote down the when I first listened to it, the riff is really nice. I couldn't tell you what it sounds like.
Dude, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about the songs on here that are not on my playlist. Because I've ingrained the ones that like I have on my playlist in my brain so much that I could like literally recite any part.
Yeah.
But then like any of the other ones, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. I'm never listening to this again.
So
this is low. I prefer the Juicy J version.
I prefer the David Bowie album.
This one just kind of blends together. The back half does blend together quite a lot. Because I listened to this like a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I genuinely can't tell you how this song goes.
Like, it's tough. Like, I have notes here, but I can't remember what I'm saying. Oh, there is one part that I do remember. He rhymes soon, balloon, and spoon in the same lyric, and it's so fucking stupid.
Listen, man. Sometimes you just have to soon you have to get your balloon and then
you spoon.
You tie your spoon to what? Why?
I don't. Yeah, again, like the lyrics, they're not very good at certain parts. It's strange. Yeah, pseudo deep.
That's how I think a teacher actually told me that one time, and at the time I was like, man, you don't fucking get it. And then I realized like, oh yeah, no, I get it. I get it. No, not a lot to say about this one.
Not really, because I just can't remember. I'm sorry.
This next track, The Hardest Part.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot more than Talk, and I remember this one a lot more than Talk.
Yeah.
I like that's the hardest part.
This is another single, so it makes sense.
I like this one. I feel like out of the two, this one should have just been on the album. Talk, in my opinion, just blended, or not even blended.
It just wasn't like stand out enough.
No, it did stand out enough, I will say. It actually did stand out. I just don't like it,
Fair
to be
enough.
honest with you.
That's fair.
I just really don't like it. The hardest part, I feel like, is the same as Talk, like sound-wise.
Yeah.
And it sounds better, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, this song is a little more interesting. It has like an interesting sound like the intro, especially following up whatever the fuck the last one was, Low, I think.
Yeah.
Again, we literally talked about this like 30 seconds ago. I can't fucking remember.
Nah, yeah. We should listen to it on the way back just to see if there's anything memorable about it. But no, yeah, the hardest part, it's fun. It's a fun little, I see why it's a single, because it's honestly, it is one of the only ones that stand out, especially in the back half.
Yeah, I like the accented hits on the lyrics, the O and I, like that. The syncopation with the instruments is very nice, very cool. I wish the guitars were a bit brought up more in the mix, though. I feel like they're a little too low, but they still sound good.
A little too low.
Or however it goes.
Listen, just take your spoon and your balloon and
get out of here soon. All right, so that was the hardest part. Anything else to say, Matt?
No, I mean, honestly, I feel like out of Talk and this one's just the better one, and I see why it's the single.
Yeah, I agree. It's solid overall, but again, back half of this album, so what can you say about that?
No, exactly. I mean, actually, AJ, I'll argue against it. Here's the thing.
Okay.
These next two tracks, they're very impactful to me. Swallowed in the Sea and Twisted Logic.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about them, but like the way that they are together, it really just,
Oh, that was sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That was some weird radio frequency. I think the Russians we got hacked by them.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're also about to approach the window. So just, keep calm. Stay calm, Matt. Keep your head down.
Keep calm and carry on.
Nate Roos is also here. Unfortunately.
I thought that was Winston Churchill.
He wrote Carry On?
Oh my god! I'm pretty sure that was the thing he used to say, like keep calm and carry on.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. The only thing I know about Winston Churchill is a lyric from a Genesis song.
I only know the epic rap battles of history. Yeah,
the dichotomy.
But anyway, unfortunately, we lost the very profound.
Yeah, we lost the audio. There's no way if we're getting that back. We're apologizing. We're sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Til Kingdom Come. That is the final track, but you mentioned it was like a bonus track of some kind?
So the canon ending, I believe, of X and Y is Swallowed by the Sea, or whatever the fuck it's called.
In the sea.
And this track was originally supposed to be recorded with Johnny Cash, which you can hear in the influence, the guitar work especially, but I believe Cash died before they could record it together, so they decided to leave it off the album, and also I believe because it just didn't really fit with the tone, which I agree with. So it's basically classified as a secret track. It's solid overall, but I understand why it's not on the actual album.
Honestly, I feel like given the fact that like the two other tracks were not that like memorable. I only knew this as the final track. I never knew any of that.
Yeah, that's what I read at least.
I feel like this honestly is a better closer than Twisted Logic. Yeah, Til Kingdom Come I felt like is like a nice little optimistic song about like, keep on keeping on. And I feel like that it's funny that this is a bonus track almost, or like a hidden track, because I feel like this is the way, like I feel like this is a perfect way to end the album.
Okay, I mean, I feel like sound-wise, I like Twisted Logic more. It does sound like a closer, but it's still a nice song overall, and I can see why it's not canon to the album, so I could go either way on it. Nah,
honestly, yeah. This whole album, in my opinion, the songs that are on the EPs, there are some of them that are like really good. Like there's this one song that's just a piano, like not sweet, but like it's like a really laid back like synthesizer and piano song, and the drums don't come into the very end. They're very like nice. It's called Gravity.
Okay,
it's so good. And then there's also Sleeping Sun, which is another really good track that was not on this album. And it's unfortunate because I feel like overall with the message of the album, it kind of like needed to be more sincere, and these other songs are kind of like, too different from the overall feel.
Okay.
but I feel like they also would have made it so much more interesting and broke it up. So
gotcha. That's fair.
Yeah, I've this album, if you can't tell, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very polarized about this album. I feel like I could really see like the good things about it, but I also see like the stuff about it that's like, eh.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, there is really good stuff on here. I like a lot of the tracks. I like the instrumentation is the standout, but it goes on for way too long. Like, most of the songs go on for like way longer than they need to. I don't care for the lyrics. I don't care for Martin's vocals, which is just me, but it detracts from my overall enjoyment.
AJ, I think it's time for your ranking and your concluding notes. What do you have to say about X and Y by Coldplay?
So, as I said before, I thought I was going to hate this album going in, but I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. Every musician brings their A game, creating very hard-hitting riffs that will make you bounce along.
Confirmed, I did bounce in quarantine.
I had about like 3 bounces. It was pretty cool. Yeah, but as I said, don't really like the vocals. Songs go on for too long. And you definitely hit a threshold where you just tune the fuck out. For me, it's after Speed of Sound, I think, and I just can't really remember anything. So I didn't hate it. Didn't really like it. I'd say C tier, but probably like maybe on par with Halsey or a little lower.
That's fair, honestly. I feel like there are a lot of solid like moments on this album.
Yeah.
What would you rate it out of 10?
I think I gave this a 6.8 out of 10. I might drop that to like a 6.5.
Okay,
maybe 6.4.
No, honestly, that's pretty valid. I mean, like even though this album has a lot of songs that I like on it. There also, I have to acknowledge the ones that I don't really like. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes the length of those other songs really detract from the overall like listening experience of this album. And I don't think I really like this album as a whole. I just kind of like pick and choose which ones I like.
That's fair. As I mentioned, I was talking to my friends Ben and Evan about like the episodes there. A little known fact, they're actually the inspirations behind this podcast.
Yes.
They will be on this on the show soon enough. But they were asking me about what episode we were doing this week, and I told them Coldplay. Like, yeah, Coldplay is an album as a band that I like songs more than the albums, and I can definitely get that from my only listen.
There are definitely like in their entire discography, you are going to find something you like.
Yeah.
Like especially when you just have that much music, you end up finding stuff that you like when an artist just has like such a lengthy discography. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like there's still a lot of filler.
Yeah, a lot of fluff.
Yeah, and not in the good like fluffy way that was in Drunk by Thundercat with the fluffy drums.
Yes.
But honestly, yeah, this album has some solid moments, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. I feel like a lot of the songs do blend together, and that's why I don't have them on my playlist.
Yeah.
So
I guess that does it for this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for enduring all that, AJ.
Oh, no problem, man. Hey, that's what this show is for. Explore new horizons, listen to things we wouldn't be comfortable with. So we're doing that as best we can.
And we're going to keep doing it until...
until those windows finally break.
yeah, eventually. Mm-hmm. Please send help. But yeah, thank you for listening to our podcast.
In general.
Yes. And thank you again to all of our lovely, lovely listeners who got us into
the green
monetization.
Yes.
No, thank you so much. We really appreciate all of your support. Mm-hmm. And
literally could not have done it without you.
No, we're
glad that we make content that makes you happy or at least invested.
Yes, given except for one episode.
Yeah,
but yeah, thank you guys so much for listening.
I'm your host AJ Sonari,
and I'm your other host Matt Glass.
We'll catch you next week.
Peace.